Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. What a night for the champions. New heroes emerging, emotional moments on and off the pitch, and debut performances that have everyone talking. From Chiesa's cult hero status to Ekitike's bold message, and Slot guiding the Reds through powerful emotions, we've got it all covered for you. Don't forget to like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more passionate Liverpool updates every single week. Liverpool new heroes and Alexander Isak theory emerges after emotional message, St. Paul Gorst match verdict, after Liverpool win a thrilling contest with Bournemouth 4-2 on the opening night of the Premier League season at Anfield. On the day when one Italian literally arrived as a Liverpool player, it was fitting that another did symbolically. As 18-year-old Giovanni Leone, signed from Parma for 26 million, watched on from the stands as his new teammates toiled, it was apt that a doyen of Italian football, Federico Chiesa, struck the decisive goal in what must be one of the most uninhibited opening fixtures in recent Premier League memory. Strap yourself in because the champions are back, and on this evidence it promises to be quite the ride. It was a night when the Kop serenaded its heroes, some old, some new, and one in particular who heartbreakingly is no longer with us. Read more. Mohamed Salah left in tears after poignant. Liverpool tributes to Diogo Jota. Read more. Liverpool player ratings as Federico Chiesa heroic but 2 get 5/10 in Bournemouth thriller. From Hugo Ekitike and Chiesa through to Mohamed Salah, the Liverpool supporters ensured all their match winners, soaked up the acclaim. But the final din of the night was reserved solely for Diogo Jota on an evening that veered wildly across the emotional spectrum. After the sort of opening period that laid bare how both sets of players are still essentially on pre-season time, the game came to life when Ekitike hustled his way past Marcos Senezi's challenge before keeping his cool to convert past Georgia Petrovic. It was another glimpse of what the France Under-21 international is all about after his impressive goal in last weekend's Community Shield. The 79mm man drew gasps of admiration from the Kop early in the second half, with a sumptuous flick, too. Florian Wirtz, after holding off his man and the new forward, looks every inch a star. Liverpool feel they have a player who can eventually develop into one of the world's best frontmen, and there were flashes at times that showed why such a bold prediction carries weight. And judging by the new terrace anthem in his name, set to Black Laces Do the Conga, the Kop has a brand new hero. The hosts extended their lead early in the second half when Cody Gakpo stroked home what has become something of a trademark strike for him after cutting inside the area. Having seen competition for his spot all but disappear with the sale of Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich, the Netherlands star is now poised to shoulder more responsibility than ever in this ever-evolving forward line. But if Liverpool's pre-season problem of looking too open in transition has been glaring, it is one that has yet to be rectified by Slot and his coaching staff. Federico Chiesa cements Liverpool cult hero status with moment to remember. It looked like he was heading for the Anfield exit door, but Federico Chiesa was on hand to seal all 3 points for Liverpool against Bournemouth in their Premier League opener. For all the money Liverpool have spent this summer, it was the only signing from last year who rescued them here. Federico Chiesa was left at home for their pre-season tour, and the fan favorite looked to be heading for the Anfield exit door. Yet the 10-meter recruit from Juventus 12 months ago enamored himself even more to the home faithful last night as he came off the bench to fire Liverpool back in front. Cult hero status forever confirmed. Mo Salah got a 4th, but it was Chiesa's strike which won this game for Liverpool against a brave Bournemouth after Arne Slot's men had blown a 2-goal lead. His first Premier League goal a year after signing after a difficult debut campaign, which looked like Liverpool would give up on him this summer following the arrivals of Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and potentially Alexander Isak. If this is one of his final acts in a red shirt, they might need to send him a winner's medal if Liverpool lift this trophy again in May. With 2 minutes to go, it looked like the defending champions were going to drop points on the first weekend of the new campaign Hugo Ekitike has frightening four-word message after Liverpool debut. Hugo Ekitike spoke after Liverpool's dramatic 4-2 win over Bournemouth, in which he scored and assisted. And after the game, he vowed that he will get even better. Hugo Ekitike said, "I could do better," despite scoring in both of his appearances for new club Liverpool so far. The France international opened the scoring in last weekend's Community Shield meeting with Crystal Palace, before scoring and assisting in Liverpool's 4-2 victory over Bournemouth on Friday. Ekitike's performance against the Cherries earned him the Premier League's Player of the Match award, but he said that there is still plenty of room for him to improve. "I think it was a good performance. I could do better," he told Sky Sports. "But the most important thing tonight is the win and the mentality we showed. We wanted to win for the people who came tonight and for Diogo, and that's what we did. So I'm happy for everybody. I have so many things to do better. I helped the team as much as I could. I can do a lot of things. I think I will get better and do even more for this team." Explaining the difference between his role for Frankfurt and his role for Liverpool, he added, "I changed my way of playing here. It's different football with more intensity. The defenders are stronger and there are tight spaces here. I had so much more space in Germany. That's why I try to come, link, and go and run behind. We have to find the way to succeed with the details. It's not good anymore. We just have to get better." Ekitike was asked by Gary Neville who his soccer idol was when he was growing up, and he answered with two world-class players from the last couple of decades. "Growing up, there were two players, Neymar and Karim Benzema," Ekitike said. "I love Benzema. What he did for football is my role model." In both scoring and assisting against Bournemouth, Ekitike became just the second player to register a goal and an assist on his Premier League debut for Liverpool. After coolly slotting home the opener in the first half, he claimed an assist after the break, as his pass was collected by Cody Gakpo, who did most of the hard work as he placed a neat finish into the bottom corner from the edge of the area. The only other player in Liverpool's history to claim a goal and an assist on their Premier League debut is Darwin Núñez, who achieved the feat against Fulham at Craven Cottage in 2022. Diogo Jota tribute powerful as Liverpool players deal with emotion. Arne Slot Jota's family were back at Anfield to see the outpouring of emotion which left Mohamed Salah in tears at the final whistle. Liverpool head coach Arne Slot was pleased with how his players dealt with an emotional night as Anfield remembered Diogo Jota in a 4-2 Premier League opening win over Bournemouth. The Portugal striker died in a car crash with his brother Andre Silva 6 weeks ago, and his family were back at Anfield to see the outpouring of emotion which left Mohamed Salah, scorer of the fourth goal, in tears at the final whistle. "The main emotion, I think, should be how impressive and how powerful the tribute for Diogo was," said Slot. "The banner that the cops showed, the way 'You'll Never Walk Alone' was sung, the way they sung the song for Diogo before the game, in the first minute, after 20 minutes after the game. It was all so impressive and so powerful. And then there was even a game that ended in 4-2 where a lot of things happened. I actually didn't want to go in after the game because I found it so special how our fans reacted today. I think Mo felt, after the game, how special that was. He probably also felt the emotion because we all knew Jota's family is here, his wife is here, his children are here. For them, it might be special to hear how much he is loved over here, what the fans did. But we also feel the emotions of how much grief they still have. That mixed emotions maybe led to Mo being emotional. I think I felt the same without being in tears, but I definitely felt the same emotions." On the football front, Slot believes Federico Chiesa has a future at the club after the almost forgotten Italy international came off the bench to score their decisive third goal, the forward, who barely played in his first season after struggling. With fitness, volleyed home in the 88th minute after seeing his teammates concede a 2-0 lead given to them by new signing Hugo Ekitike and Cody Gakpo. But after Antoine Semenyo The subject of an isolated incident of alleged racist abuse in the first half, scored twice. Fan favorite Chiesa registered his first Premier League goal, which was followed by a customary opening day goal for Salah. The fans sung for him so many times last season, and it is very nice for him to give them something in return. Unbelievable atmosphere in the final minutes, added Slot on the Italy international, who looked destined for a move this summer. He is here at Liverpool, and I have no reason to believe it is going to change. He had a hard time last season, getting his fitness ready, and unfortunately for him, he then missed the Asian tour. At 2-2, you need a number 9. I brought him in and he delivered, and that is always positive for your future at the club. Bournemouth head coach Andoni Iraola praised Semenyo for his reaction to the first-half incident, which saw play halted so referee Anthony Taylor could speak to both managers. I didn't notice live, but straight away Anthony explained the situation. He said, "It is a shame that in the first game of the Premier League, playing a really good game, we have to start talking about these things. It is a shame because the news will be about this thing. It is something that is still a big problem, and we should be talking about what a good game it has been." In the heat of the moment, I think Antoine understood the situation. He was calm. We asked him if he is okay to continue. The head always goes in these things, and for sure he is asking why this is happening today. Antoine started the season the same way he finished the last one. Different goals, the first more a combination. To the left and he arrives well. The second one more, he takes it by himself and a good finish. Liverpool's new signings graded. How Hugo Ekitike, Florian Wirtz, Jeremie Frimpong, and Milos Kerkez got on in their Premier League debuts for the champions against Bournemouth. Liverpool made history at Anfield on Friday night, as they became the first reigning champions to name as many as 4 Premier League debutants in their opening day starting at Seine. That shows the level of change at the club this summer and how they have bucked a trend, with the Reds keen to evolve, not stand still, in the aftermath of their league title triumph. Hugo Ekitike started in attack and scored. Who needs Alexander Isak? And his strike partners, Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo, also found the net. Federico Chiesa, meanwhile, came off the bench to net, with fellow new boys Jeremie Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, and Florian Wirtz also starting. But who had a league debut to remember? Who failed to live up to their billing? And who was limited in terms of their attacking output? Hugo Ekitike. It is hard to avoid viewing everything through the lens of what would Darwin Núñez do when it comes to the new No. 9. But given fans had a passionate love-hate relationship with the former striker, one cannot help but turning the mind to the Uruguayan every time Ekitike wows his new fan base. We did it last week when he played a lovely give-and-go and then unleashed a fine finish at Wembley in the Community Shield. And we did it after 2 minutes here after he was dropping deep and spraying passes around in an all-round display. And we certainly did it when he found himself clear on goal, gave George Petrovic the eyes, and confidently slotted into the open space to score. This was a league debut to remember for Ekitike, not just for his goal, but a fine performance which would have delighted boss Arne Slot. The Dutchman spent so much of last season demanding more from his No. 9s in an all-round sense. Liverpool signed Ekitike for $79 million from Eintracht Frankfurt, so none of this will come as a surprise to any in the recruitment team. He was signed not just for his goal scoring, but it certainly helps a striker to start life at a new club with 2 goals in 2 competitive games. Florian Wirtz. B. Wirtz could be the signing of the season in the Premier League after his $116 million move from Bayer Leverkusen. But this was not the night that he showed as much. There were some lovely touches by the effervescent German, but he failed to get a real chokehold on the game as he has so often for club and country in the last few years. As he did last week in the Community Shield, Wirtz started the game well, but slowly faded and looked tired towards the end. Jeremie Frimpong. Be a bit like his former Leverkusen colleague, Frimpong will be an exciting player to watch this year, but this was not the game in which he showed that. He was fairly limited in an attacking sense and did not demonstrate any of the qualities that made him be described as a little assassin by former boss Neil Lennon when asked for an honest appraisal by Daily Mail Sport earlier this summer. Milos Kerkez. Kagain. It feels harsh to be ranking players based on 90 minutes, or 59 in Kerkez's case, but there is more to come from Kerkez too. The Hungary international was brought in from Bournemouth, and his every touch got booed by cherries. Fans, who rightfully took umbrage with the way he handled his exit by effectively flirting with Liverpool on social media. And the traveling fans would have been ironically happy to see Kerkez struggle somewhat. Given a tough time by his old colleague Antoine Semenyo, he did not show any of the attacking threat he demonstrated so well in 2 seasons on the South Coast and was caught out of position several times in a defensive sense. More to come from both full-backs, who have tough competition from veteran Andy Robertson and exciting Connor Bradley, though the latter is injured at present. P.S. The newest of the Liverpool recruits was watching from the stands in 26-minute Parma defender Giovanni Leoni, 18. Given the subpar display from Liverpool's back four, the Italian stallion might fancy his chances of getting a game sooner than he expected.